What's up, YouTube? It's been 10,000 of YGO, and today I'm going to give you the top 10 budget decks for the new February 5th, 2018 format. I hope you guys don't mind. I am just going to have my avatar on the screen here to represent me. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get started. Dinosaurs are on the first deck on the budget list. So as you can see, you're going to see like the boss monster of every deck on this list, and then I'm going to give you a few cards that are kind of like support. The reason why you see a Fire King, a Preplant, and an El Shaddai is because these are some of the variant dinosaur decks that are out there. That's the first one. Oh, and also these decks aren't in any particular order of like what's the best of the budget decks. These are just the ones that I think that are budget and will have an effect as far as giving you an edge in a tournament. Number 2 is Lightsworn. On the list, we found out that Card Trooper now just came to 3, so that's another version of the deck now that's available to play. And Lightsworn is kind of budget, and it depends on the variant you play, the rarity of the cards. But if you play the lower rarity cards, you don't have to spend as much. And if you got a little more to spend, well, go get you the most expensive Judgment Dragons that are out there. Next one, number 3 is ABC. This deck I think is going to be another really good choice for budget players because one, it's also, besides all these decks being really cheap, there's also some variance to it. All right, number 4. Metalfoes. Now, I hear what you're thinking. Electromite is going to be expensive as hell. And you're probably right, especially since the set is going to be dropping, or have just dropped as of you guys seeing this video. So, what am I going to suggest to you? I'm going to suggest you Doolittle Chimera as a budget option. If you just like the Metalfoes deck, and you're not really particularly have a lot of money to spend on the new Electromite, don't worry, there is a new Link monster for you, and that's Doolittle Chimera. It will open up the zones, you can use Rescue Rabbit, go get 2 of your normie Metalfoes monsters, and then bop, there you go. Also, Wavering Eyes is a handy-dandy card, which you might want to play because of what also might be a meta deck. Next is Counter Fairies. Obviously, I was going to put Counter Fairies on the list, especially since Konami has decided to go with a little more back row love and give this card back, Solemn Judgment, off of the ban list. Now, if you're one of the old school players, you probably have a Solemn Judgment, and therefore you don't have to buy one. If you do have to buy one, the good news is it does have common prints and black rare prints, so they're nowhere near as expensive as its foil printings. So, guys, if you're looking to build this deck on a budget, don't buy foil cards when you can buy the common. The common works just the same as the foil. I don't care what Yu-Gi-No! Says in that one skit video. Foiling does not grant extra effects. It's also and the 3 cards you're seeing here, Bountiful Artemis, Ties, and Herald, they're all to represent the different variants of the deck you play. Old school, Ties the Brethren build. There's also a Hand Trap build. I think Qliphort floated that around for a hot minute. Next one, Bro Thunder Stun. Now this deck was inspired by Asian Eyes. He did a deck with this kind of style of dueling a long time ago. I want to say like 2016, 2015, something like that. I can't exactly remember, but somewhere in that ballpark. But the reason why this is a good budget deck is because you can get Thunder King RAI-OH, which is a common, has common printings, for, I don't want to say really cheap, but definitely if you're within a good budget to spend, there you go. These Thunder monsters are really good choices. Denko Sekka will lock out the back row. Thunder King says no to searching. Mustang slows down, I believe, special summons. Yeah, no special summoning under that. And then I believe they even have their own card that holds down spells. Alright, number 7. Spiral Phantasms. This is a really interesting budget deck with a little bit of variance to it. Megalomaster is kind of standard in the deck, I know, but it is still technically a variant. There's also a Pendulum variant, which means you can play Wavering Eyes, which will also help you against other aforementioned meta deck. I know you're looking at Sparkman going, huh? And there is indeed a hero version of this deck. I got that from Mega Capital G, and I also built my own version on this channel. I know, shameless plug. Okay, next one is Magical Musketeers. I have played this deck. It's very fun. It turns out it's also budget. It's really not that expensive to get one. I think I saw one on eBay for like $20, like the whole thing. Alright, next one, number 9. Qliphort. Now, I know this one's going to trigger a few of you guys. You're like, Qliphort Towers is crap, bull. It's not going to do shit. And not, no. And you'd probably be right. But, if you play Qliphort Genius, the new Link monster, you now have another extra deck monster you can go into to, you know, load up the extra deck and keep summoning your Qliphort monsters, making it able to even summon towers. And as you can see right here, with Rivalry of Warlords and Gozen Match, you have a few cards that make it hard for your opponent to summon anything. So, this can make things difficult, because if your opponent has a monster on the field, you activate whichever one you need. I recommend playing Rivalry of Warlords, and then depending on the deck you're up against, swap it out for Gozen Match. That's my personal suggestion, because the very few decks are all the same attribute and all the same type. Very few. Like Phantom Knight and like Burning Abyss might be the only decks I can think of off the top of my head that are all the same attribute and all the same typing, pretty much. Mix your towers with one of these two, and hopefully this will limit their ability to kaiju you. Next one, number 10. And this one's going to have some reservations. Yes, Pendulum Magician. Yes, this deck is still technically within budget for various reasons. One, I have just went to eBay to do some research for this video, so I saw that I could get the core still for like, I want to say like $30, so that was pretty good. Plus, I know Skullcrobat Joker got banned and Iris Magician are banned, but the good news is we still have plenty of cards to search them with. Pendulum Call is still at 3, so have at it, Hoss. You still got another way to do it. Damage Juggler came back to 1, so if you want to throw a small Performage engine in there, why not? I mean, I see the Performapal Wizard, whatever, the Earth one, I can't remember his name. I see him in their deck all the time. Why not? So Pendulum Call will replace that. The issue you're going to come across with is Heavy Metalfoes Electromite. Although I think one will do you if you are in a pinch and on a budget, and the reason why even that deck might still classify somewhat as a budget deck is because most of the guys who are playing Pendulum Magician already have it. Okay, so if you planned on playing Pendulum Magician, you are more than likely already have it from the previous format, because they kind of snuck it up on us. So all you players that have Pendulum Magician, well, now the only thing you'll have to do is deal with the hype price of Electromite, but I still think the deck is decent. I think it still has a lot of capabilities of searching. It has a lot of destruction and disruption, so I still think the deck is good on, you know, being a decent budget deck. It was a budget deck last format, technically. It's still a budget deck now. It's just now you're going to have to pick a few different card choices, and there are a ton of Pendulum cards to pick from, and I know that there's going to be some more broken stuff to come in the future, so sticking with your Pendulums may not necessarily be a bad idea. Alright guys, real quick, I want to give you the shout out of YouTuber of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and announce his name, and then we'll give you a quick screenshot of the page. And that is Clowny Knight. And Clowny Knight kind of does what I do here. He does replays. Now, where I prefer to talk to you guys at the end, at the beginning and at the end of each video, he prefers to throw little like clips from other stuff in there to kind of give an element of humor to his replays. And I found them very interesting. I kind of liked what he was doing there, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and shout him out. I just know he's a small YouTuber with an interesting gimmick, and I think you guys should go check that out. Also, guys, I hope you will subscribe to my channel for future content. Leave a comment down below of where you would like this channel to go in the future. I do take deck requests. I may not be always able to do it. Like, there are just some decks that I just can't find a way for it to work for me. But that doesn't mean that shouldn't stop you from giving me a request. Also, please leave that comment telling me how I can improve this channel. I want to make this channel as good as I possibly can. Give me a like, subscribe, and I'm Ben 10,000 of YGO, and I'm signing off. Peace, guys.